everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Game here, and today I'm playing some more Cookie Run Kingdom, the Heroes of Dark Cacao. So we're going to be trying that out today. Not trying that out today. We're going to be doing some cookie draws and some treasure draws. Wait, what? Expenditures for the quarter time for general cleanup. Clear certain trade with the Tower Sweet Carrots and rewards. You go on Lights of Revolution for the Tower Sweet Carrots. Okay, I'm definitely going to be doing some Tower Sweet Carrots then. Probably off camera, but we'll see. Do we have some free things? Nothing all that crazy today. I'll do the basic event stuff, because that's important too. But yeah, so today we are going to be trying to get the new treasures and the new epic cookie. I mean, there's a chance we'll pull the ancient, but pretty darn low, so we'll see what happens. But I'm feeling pretty confident. I think it's going to go pretty good, so hopefully we'll be okay. But yeah, let's get started with, I guess, these 3 cookie draws that we have for free. There's also some caution draws that we've been getting saved up, so that's awesome. It's so nice that we're getting those in the new chapter. I think that's really awesome. Assuming they're not, I don't think they're I don't think you can get them again, though, because I believe you got all of those from, I want to say it was, like, the stage clear rewards, not individual stages, but overall, so that doesn't really matter. Some mileage points. I just realized there's probably some new stuff here. Yes, we have Cocoa Cookie and Cotton Cookie. I believe that's the new additions. I could be wrong. This really is very, very full. There's so many epics in the game, and it's just constantly adding more. It's kind of crazy. It's also crazy how cheap these are. I feel like I should just buy all the gacha tickets like this for the treasure draws, because 10 treasure tickets is the equivalent of 6 rare soul stones. I'm just gonna buy, like, I don't know. Let us buy 50 of them. I'm going to buy 50 treasure draws. Except, apparently, I'm going to buy 60. No, we'll do 50. That's 3,000. That is 30 epic soul stones worth. But you know what? Honestly, we'll get that back pretty fast. We'll start with the cookie draws. We'll probably do intermittent amounts for the treasure draws. And after all of that, we'll probably do a stage or 2 of the game and see what's going to happen. That was nothing, though. That was a comment. Pretty sure, at least. This isn't in the feature draw, though, so I'm not really sure what I'm expecting. I mean, there's definitely a part of me that's like, yes, please give me Dark Cacao Cookie, that would be awesome, but somehow I feel that's a little bit unlikely, so we'll see what's going to happen. Hopefully it's going to be pretty good. I do remember doing this for Pure Vanilla and actually pulling Pure Vanilla, which was crazy. That would be really awesome if that happened again, but obviously the odds are not in my favor in the slightest. So we'll see what's going to end up happening. So let's start off with one of our 10-5 draws. Oh, you can draw all 50. That didn't used to be a feature. Do we start off with the big treasure draw? You know what? Yeah, let's do all the treasures. Sure. I didn't know that was an option. We're just gonna get, like, all of them in the first, like, 2, aren't we? So, like, nothing interesting so far. We got some rares, which is awesome. Hey, we got the new epic immediately. So this is what I'm telling you. Our next draw is gonna be, like, the new rare or whatever. Or any draw now. And then we're just gonna be done, and I'll be like, why did I decide to buy 50 of these things? That was very dumb. Well, what can you do? We now have so many of these. If I get the new treasure and a second of the epic, I was going to say, if I get the new rare, I'm going to try to speed through these a little bit. 3 of the new epic, that's really crazy. It's very surprising. I mean, 50 draws is a ton, but we haven't done that many. We're getting a lot of epics, actually. This is going very well, but at this rate, honestly, if we do all 50 of these, and we end up with, like, 5 of the epics and none of the rares, that would be pretty sad. There we go. Echo of the Hurricane Song, which I remember thinking it would be super overpowered. Like, it seems really strong to me, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Come on, 50 of these. It can't be that many. I don't think so, at least. Like, 50 treasures is a lot, but we're going through these pretty quickly. And there we go. All of our treasures. That's a lot. I've never done that before. That's really crazy. I have no idea if that's a new feature or how new that is. I also completely forgot that treasure draws give you mileage points. So we spent 3,000 mileage points and got 1,000 back. So we really only spent like 2,000, which is, it's kind of nice. But anyways, let's start with 110 draw on the Affogato cookie. Then we're going to take a look at the treasures one more time. We will probably try out all this stuff too, depending on how quickly this stuff happens. An immediate epic. If this first 10 draw is the new cookie, we're probably going to spend most of the video then testing stuff out. Hard to know how fast things are going to happen. Sometimes I get these featured on my first 10 draw. Sometimes it's on my, like, 12th. So depends on how lucky I'm going to be today. I do say this, like, every time, but I've done the math before. Getting an epic cookie from the feature draw, there's a 50-50 chance that that epic cookie will be the feature cookie, and then there's a 50% chance it will be any other cookie in the entire game. So, you know, you actually have pretty good odds if you pull an epic that you're going to get what you want. But I've also had plenty of runs where I end up with, like, 8 of just random epics before it happens. So, let's see what it's going to be. It is a normal epic. It is, I believe, Affogato cookie, because I haven't seen this before. No, this is Lilac cookie. I always remember being like, oh, I haven't seen this. Lilac cookie, I have to say, I'm pretty sure has interrupted this, like, has done the same thing at least 2 times now, which is kind of annoying. Oh, but it's a double epic pull. See, now, this is really lucky. I remember the last time we did this. Oh, wait, this new one.
Power in this kingdom lies. I wonder. The best medicine tastes sweet in your mouth.
That's a very weird intro. That was very creepy and cool. I really love that music. That was awesome, though. So we got the double epic. I was going to say the last time that happened is when I pulled Sea Fury trying to do this. But there we go. Affogato cookie, first 10 draw. So as I promised, we're going to do a ton of tests. No, I don't want to buy those, though, honestly. 14 draws of the Nether Gacha, which I don't have any of yet, by the way. Would be pretty awesome. So we might do some more of those later, but honestly, that was really fast. It's been like 5 minutes. We have all the new treasures, the new cookie. Let's just try everything out. That sounds the best thing, like the best thing to me. Also, I do want to check. Are there new cookie bombs? I don't think there are, but I don't know. They haven't added new ones of these in forever. And, oh, they actually did they? No, I think they added these a while ago, but I'm not quite sure. I feel like some of these are new. I'm not positive. I also, pretty sure they added some new costumes. I think this is new, but I'm not really sure, so we'll see. Yeah, I feel like some of these are new costumes. I'm not quite sure, but the point is, we got the 2 new treasures. We have, where is it? This one, the one that says new. I guess level up too. Woo, level 2. So heals percentage of max health and increases their attack, which is pretty cool. Heals the cookie with the highest max HP, so it's gonna heal like your tanker or frontliner, which is very interesting and could be really strong depending on the situation. A lot of stages do a ton of damage to the frontliner, but really in Chapter 13, I don't think this is gonna help very much. But then again, not everything has to be for the new content. It's always nice to have some stuff for previous people that are just starting the game and are like, hey, this is going to take me ages to reach Chapter 13. And then they realize every single chapter has been nerfed every single time a new one has been added. Yay! I still find that kind of crazy. But yeah, so it shouldn't be that bad. It does sound pretty interesting. Definitely powerful, potentially with T-Night Cookie, which I still feel like they're trying to add a lot of things that work well with him. But would be pretty cool, interesting concept. Honestly, seems like a generally better alternative to the Brickcells Monocle. But this does restore health from the whole party, so I don't know. Hard to know. Depends on the situation. The rare, on the other hand, sounds so powerful. Deals area damage to all enemy cookies equal to 217% of the attack of the ally with the highest attack. Deals 724% of the attack to other non-cookie enemy targets. So to be fair, this isn't like crazy insane, but this is a level 1 skill that using it with a vampire on your team will do like 80,000 plus damage to every single enemy. That is absurd. Like, absolutely absurd. Really, sounds really good in cookie battles too, but it does depend on the cookie, but that could be really insane. Seems very powerful. On the cookie side of things, we have, of course, Affogato cookie, who's down here at the bottom. Your style is rather blunt. I feel like I'm going to grow to either hate or very much so be intrigued by Affogato cookie. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I'm really not sure. I don't know what an Affogato is, so I really have no idea how to pronounce the name. But Sweet Scheme secretly curses the enemy with the highest attack. Oh, I remember this. Cursed target cannot receive any buff effects for a certain time. Limited buffs that can be dispelled, so ignoring certain things, I guess. I don't know. The cursed target will also receive amplified debuffs and will spread poison, inflicting periodic damage to nearby enemies and themselves. If poison becomes dispelled, it will cause great damage to nearby enemies. That sounds really powerful. Just in general, that sounds really powerful. Very interesting. Kind of cool to see a bomber cookie that actually sounds pretty strong. Most of them so far really haven't been. 41 is the max, so I'm just going to go straight to level 40. I generally go for level 40 for these cookie tests, because then we get all topping slots and all that stuff. If I did have to guess, though, because a lot of the damage isn't based around real damage, like normal damage, it's based around poison and all sorts of stuff, I feel like cooldown might be better, but I'm not quite sure. I'm really not sure. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mix of what I did with Licorice, so I'll do 2 cooldown and 3 attack, which I should be able to level up these myself. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes when I actually have all of this stuff set up. And yeah, see you then. Okay, I'm ready. That took a little bit. Had to just discard some more of my toppings. But there we go. We have 2 maxed out maxed out cooldown toppings and 3 maxed out damage. I do this so we can get the raspberry set effect. But I have no idea how powerful that is necessarily. I didn't do much research on the cookie beforehand to give a bit of a fresh view, I guess. Fresh point of view. But I am excited to try this out, so I'm going to use some of my normal tests for this. So I'm going to go to dark mode. I'm going to go to a difficult stage here. She pairs well in my team. Like, obviously it won't be as strong as higher level cookies, but it is often an interesting test. This is way too strong for solo. Let's go back to chapter 5. We'll do the boss, I guess. This is a fun one to try out. I outdo this a fair bit. See, I have this with Teen Knight from last time. So let's see, Affogato Cookie. How strong are you? How well do you pair? What is your special abilities? What's going to happen here? I'm going to go with these same toppings because they're pretty basic. Let's see what's going to happen. Definitely, that was actually really cool. That was a photo of, like, Dark Cacao Cookie taking care of Dark Chocolate Cookie. So yeah, poisons, which inflicts a lot of weakness. Doing, like, 14,000, 20,000 on a crit. Pretty solid damage, nothing crazy. The skill itself, that's 6,000 poison damage. I've seen poison scale. I know a lot of Cookie and Kingdom players, especially early on, really hated poison. It is single target, of course. I feel like Affogato Cookie is definitely more of an arena cookie than a story mode type. But at the same time, I'm definitely interested to see if Affogato Cookie will work on, like, if the curse effect and poison stuff is going to work on bosses. How's that going to work? Because that could potentially be really powerful, a really good boss killer, which would be pretty interesting. It's hard to know for sure, as I've mentioned many times now. The poison damage is pretty strong, so again, I really do feel like Affogato Cookie is going to be an arena player and probably a boss player, depending on what happens here. Poison effect is activated. Curse, that's doing a lot of damage fairly significantly, and the curse lasts quite a while.
Submit to me.
I don't really know how to test this out to see how permanent this is going to be. I'm definitely going to try this out on the Chapter 12 boss, even though it's probably been nerfed, so we'll see. But that was a pretty interesting showing. I do feel like that poison spread very fast. That did a lot of damage, so I did a lot of damage. Didn't really notice the spreading effect, honestly. It didn't really seem like it happened very much. But time to see, on normal mode against a tough boss, what is going to happen. Woo! Yeah, no, this cookie definitely, or this boss definitely got nerfed, so this won't be that bad, all things considered, but even still, let's see what's going to happen. Is a middle liner, which is interesting. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Most cookies are. It's definitely a good place to be. But let's take a look at how this is going to go. I'm just going to leave this on auto, and then I'll swap Raspberry Cookie back in, so we'll do a bit of comparison to take a look at this. And then I'm going to try out the new treasures, because I'll focus on those a bit later. I just want to try out the cookie first, because honestly, it seems really cool. So, Curse Effect. I'm assuming it's applied, because I do see the poison. The poison damage is less, which feels very strange. I don't really know why the poison damage seems lower now. It's higher than it was before. Not quite sure. It is doing some pretty significant damage, all things considered. I'm not quite sure if you can see the full damage breakdown. Kind of wish you could. But definitely interesting to see the damage play out. Yeah, it's honestly, it's a little hard to say. I don't really know if the curse is working. It's kind of hard to tell. There's no, like, debuff bar on this boss because it's like a main boss, so it's a little weird. But it definitely looks like that poison's doing significant damage. Like, obviously, I'm doing a lot of damage here. This boss has millions of health. Actually, wait a sec. Didn't this boss used to have a first form? Is this still its first form? It's been so long since I fought this boss. I can't tell if I'm doing horrible or not. I feel like this boss has this has the second form, correct? Yeah, no, I'm doomed. Never mind. So we're not going to win this on auto mode. I forgot, even with a nerf, how strong this boss is with its crazy 14 million health. You really can't beat this boss on auto mode, even if you had max cookies, which obviously I don't. But let's see how far we can get, just do a comparison. I'm going to check in on the end of this match, because it's going to take another minute. And then I will cut over to Raspberry Cookie's attempt, or to the attempt with Raspberry Cookie, I guess. Okay, so in the last 10 seconds here, we're down to like 8.6 million health. We'll probably end off on like 8.5-ish. Really not that good, honestly. I forgot this boss had so much health. And of course, unfortunately, I can't see the exact, like, damage play out, which is too bad. I love how it says meet more cookies and devise a strategy. That's their tip for me. But no, so didn't go incredible. I'm gonna try it now with Raspberry, and I will, you'll take a look at the end. Raspberry is, of course, a higher level cookie.
I challenge you to a
9
duel.
levels higher, plus 3 stars, so much stronger. But we're gonna see what actually happens. Maybe it'll make a difference, maybe it won't.
It's over for you.
Routes grow.
Taste my savings!
I need a drink. Meet your end. Okay, let's just relax for a bit now.
Okay, so I just realized I was not paying attention there. So you guys would have seen those final numbers there. I really do apologize for that. But yeah, so I believe it did significantly worse, because it definitely looked like it was going to do a lot worse, but hard to know for sure, on my part at least. You guys now know, better or worse, hard to say. Pretty sure it was going worse though, so I'm assuming it was less than 8.5 million, or had more, yeah, less than 8.5 million health remaining, so it was a worse damage output. Which, again, isn't that surprising considering it's significantly higher level cookie being Raspberry. But it honestly didn't really seem like the curse effect applied to these bigger bosses. And the damage was okay. Sounds interesting. I'm not actually going to try it in Arena because I feel like I'm not that good at Arena. I don't play Arena much, so I'm not a good person to judge that. So instead, I want to try out the new treasures then. So I'm going to try the exact same thing, except we're going to use some different treasures. We're going to use some new treasures. I don't think I'm going to test out, well, I don't know about the Miraculous Natural Remedy. I really want to test out the Echo of Hurricane Song. How decent is this? How much damage is this thing going to do? So I'm going to try this thing out again. Well, no, we're going to meet the boss pretty quickly, so I'm going to end this off. I'm just going to turn off auto mode for a second here, because we're at the boss straight away. How much damage does this thing do? Like, we're at, like, basically 3.8 million health. That did, what was that? That did, yeah, kind of what I expected. That was, like, 80, 90,000 damage. That's a 1 minute cooldown, which is a big deal, because really, that means that in Arena, for example, you're, like, it's incredibly unlikely you're getting more than one of that, and in this situation, like in a normal game, you're gonna get that 2 times, probably. It's unlikely you'll ever reach 3 times. Again, it's pretty decent damage, like, that's pretty significant here. I want to see this one more time just to be safe. But that wasn't that great. So yeah, 32 seconds, we'll see this again. Yeah, let's show like 70,000 damage. Definitely not bad. And sort of what I expected. It does work to all enemies. It is area attack, which is pretty crazy, but it's significantly worse against actual cookies, like 1/3 as much damage. And it takes a minute cooldown, which is so much worse than I expected. So honestly, the treasure seems a lot worse than I thought it would, which is too bad, because it seemed really cool, it's really powerful. They can't all be the cooldown treasure, so we'll see. Definitely looks interesting. I do want to try that actually on a weaker stage. So let's go to dark mode. Let's go to the chapter 7, because that's what I'm on right now. We'll play, I guess, the first stage, and just see, like, it does affect every enemy, right? Just want to double check that. Pretty sure it does, but can never be too sure. So let's see what's going to happen. I actually lost this. I must have been doing some challenge. So yeah, this should one-shot everything, essentially. And it does! 70,000 damage. Pretty good. Yeah, definitely interesting, definitely powerful. I'm assuming it works with damage buffs, which would be kind of cool. To get that base damage up as high as possible, but doesn't seem all that strong. So I actually do want to run this one more time then with Tea-Night Cookie, because I feel like that would be kind of cool. So, Tea-Night Cookie, how will you do with the other new treasure that I feel like suits him much better? I also thought the Insignia of Indomitable Knights, that one definitely fits pretty well, but in this situation, I think I'm going to try out the new one. Miraculous Natural Remedy has some healing, plus some attack speed boost. Not some attack speed boost, some damage boost. So let's see. There is, I believe, no way he could beat the stage on his own. Pretty sure he lost. But what's going to happen on auto mode using this attack boost? A bit of an attack boost. He has all sorts of other boosts as well. How well is he going to do? I'll probably try this one more time without him being active as well. So again, I will see you, well, no, we'll look for a second here, and then I'll see you at the end, probably. Because it's, like, obviously he's dying pretty quickly. Let's see the health gain, because we should get at least one more time before we die here. Never mind. Okay, that didn't go too well. Damage boost, not really that noticeable. Keep in mind, this only works on your front liner, this boost. And this takes up an entire treasure slot. Unfortunately, so that was 10,000 HP, so I'm being dumb. These enemies are doing 4,000 damage each. This is Dark Mode Chapter 7, and they're doing 4,000 damage each. So that healing is very minimalistic. The damage boost is minimalistic, and this is taking up a treasure slot. You are far better off having a 40% defense boost, so honestly, I know I've only barely looked at this treasure, but it's just not a good treasure. I think that's pretty easy to say, pretty fair to say. There's a lot of treasures in this game, and a lot of them just really suck. Like, they're just never used. I can't tell you the last time I've used, for example, well, honestly, I could pick a couple of these. This one in particular, the big healer staff, it heals the cookie with the lowest HP by 55% of all cookies' total attack for 5 seconds. That's interesting, I guess, except it's healing the lowest HP, which is kind of good, but that's it. It's a weak healing effect. The healing effects aren't that good. We have some stronger boosts here. For example, obviously, Pilgrim Scroll, big damage boost. The Brooksel's Monocle also has the Purify effect, plus it heals the entire party by a, honestly, pretty close amount. It's not that close. It's about a third in comparison, but that's times 5. So, like, that's through all 5 party members, so it's pretty decent overall healing. Plus, it has the Purify effect, which is a nice boost. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these treasures rarely get used because they're not that useful in most situations. And unfortunately, I feel like the, Miraculous Natural Remedy is probably going to fall into that position as well. As for the Echo of the Hurricane Song, it's a lot worse than I thought it would be. Vampire Cookie is a very high base attack cookie, and Raspberry, etc. They're very high damage cookies. And even with that, against enemies where it's way stronger, it's only doing like 70 or 80,000 damage. It's a nice damage boost, but again, you're better off going for the Grim Looking Scythe for crit chance, or the Old Pilgrim Scroll for attack boost, or the Squishy Jelly Watch for cooldown. They're all higher damaging items, and in a lot of situations, Pilgrim Slingshot for that defense reduction. All of these items let you do way more damage to enemies, and I feel like the Echo of the Hurricane Song just isn't going to be that helpful. I could see it being pretty useful in a couple situations, like if you're getting stun locked or there's a lot of debuffs that are causing issues, it could be pretty good. But ultimately, I don't think it's that crazy. And I think against normal cookie enemies in Arena, having one use of a free 20,000 damage to everything just ain't that great. I will say, it's probably a lot better than the Elder Pilgrim's Torch, because that's 20% of all cookies' attack power, which in total is 100% of the average, so that's like average cookie damage between them all, compared to, a rare item with a, ultimately, it is a third the cooldown, so that's a big deal. So that's, let's say, 300% of the weakest cookie, of the average cookies, compared to 217% of the strongest cookie, and it's only a rare treasure, which means it's going to get leveled up way more. Because of that, all things considered, I feel like the Echo of Hurricane Song is probably better than the Epic, which is kind of sucks, because they're ultimately very similar items. But I don't think either of those treasures are honestly going to be that helpful, which is true for most treasures in this game. New cookie-wise, definitely interesting. I feel like that curse ability could have some interesting uses involving people cursing and using a ton of debuff stacking, and then getting to the point where these enemies have like 0 defense and take absurd amounts of damage. But at the same time, I don't know, the poison doesn't seem that strong. I didn't see it really spread much on a lot of the enemies. This is obviously a pretty quick glance at all of these units, but it just doesn't seem that powerful. So honestly, I'm a little disappointed. Neither the cookie or treasure seem all that great. But I hope you guys still enjoyed. Let me know your guys' opinions in the comments. Definitely say, hey, I agree, or I think this is true, or whatever. I do appreciate it. I generally respond to those. I share my opinion if you guys share it with me first, so yeah. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. Consider giving the video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribing to join the Purple Elephant Squad. It makes my day super nice, and I really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!